Good evening to you all. Well, it's evening while we're recording right now. Welcome back to the Footy Talks show. I'm here with the co-host, per usual, AGN Entertainment. Adam, how are you today, Adam? Well, how are you this evening?
It's coming home, so I
It
am
is coming
absolutely
home.
elated.
Let me turn my headphones up a little bit because it's sounding really, really quiet. There we are, people. So we are here today to talk about England's semi-final against the Netherlands, which everyone said we were going to get knocked out by. But there you have it. There you have it. My first initial thoughts before we go into some player ratings, which we are going to do, people, is that's the best we played all tournament. I'm happy with that. That first 45 minutes, we were great. We were great. And if we play that 45 minutes against any other team we come up against, Spain in the semi-finals, that's included, we would do it. We would do them. If we play like that, Spain are the favourites, which they are, because they've been the best team in the tournament so far. But we are underdogs, but we can do it. We can do it. I'm believing. I am believing. You let me know how you're thinking about. Just give us a little quick overview of that get of the game, brother. Quick
Absolutely
overview.
agree. That
Yeah.
first 45 minutes was absolutely immense, and we would have put a few. I mean, we were unlucky, to be honest, to be 1-1. We should have been winning 2-3-0. We had loads of chances, played really, really well. Shout out to Phil Foden. What a great performance from him. He was slaloming and turning and shifting and
Yeah.
moving, and he looked on fire, didn't he? He looked
Yeah. He was very
absolutely
good.
on fire. He was
Very, very
very,
good.
very strong.
Yeah.
What a team talk that must have been. Come on, Phil, bring out your best mate. And he really, really did. So I think, yeah, we're almost perfect in that first half, to be honest. Even
Yeah.
the goal we conceded, it's just a heck of a strike, wasn't it? It's no keeping
Yeah, well,
that out.
Declan Rice messed up a little bit for it, but we'll
He did.
get to Declan Rice. Yeah, we will get to
Yeah,
Declan Rice, people.
we
So,
will.
just so people, if you haven't watched it and you haven't heard the news and you live under a rock, England won 2-1 against the Netherlands. Ollie Watkins scored it in 89th minute and 59 seconds, so you count that as the 90th minute. But yeah, we were one. It was 1-1. The first half, we absolutely battered them. It should have been. It should have been more. We could have been 3-1 up in that first half, at least. At
Mm.
least. I don't know if you agree with that, brother.
Oh, completely. Completely. I mean, the only thing I'd criticise is the fact we didn't take more of our chances because we could have been, that Phil Foden one where he sort of slalom past two or three players and then just sort of dinked it over the keeper. The keeper got a bit of his leg on it, which obviously took
Yeah,
the sting off the shot, and the guy was
yeah,
able to clear it off the line. But yeah, we
yeah.
should have been 2-1, 3-1 at least. Agree with you.
Do you think he should have just hit that straight away rather than taking the keeper on?
Do you remember Mesut Ozil used to have like a kind of finish where he'd sort of bang the ball into the
The
ground with his
ground,
foot,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and it would just go over the keeper?
yeah.
I think
That's
he
what you
probably should
needed.
have. Yeah, he could have tried that,
I
but
think he should have scored.
he should have scored. Yeah, he should have scored. I think he kind of hesitated just a little bit, and that
Yeah,
hesitation sort of let him down. And the guy was able to clear it off the line fairly easily. But yeah, I mean, he probably should have scored. In terms of execution, 10 out of 10 getting through into that position. But then obviously
yeah.
the final bit was just lacking slightly.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. I think, like I said, that first half we were sensational.
Mm,
Um, I'd say a solid 9 out of 10. That first half was a solid 9 out of 10. Phil Foden, he
yeah.
was sitting in little pockets, getting the ball, carrying. I thought Bukayo Saka in that first half was immense. I
Mm.
thought he was so good in that first half, and people were going, "Oh." Some people have been in my comments saying, "Oh, Bukayo Saka was quiet that game." What game were you watching? That first half, Bukayo Saka was danger. Absolutely, every time he touched the ball, he was at Ake. Maybe that second half he weren't. Ake pocketed him in the second half. I can't deny that. But that first half, wow.
Mm.
Wow,
Mm.
I was watching it. I was like, Saka, man, you're on fire. And I want
Mm.
to touch on a few things for people as well, because obviously I've had a lot of lives. I've had a post today that's got over 300,000 views, and a lot of the comments were. I'm not bragging, by the way. A lot of the comments I've had, I think about 700 comments altogether, but a lot of the comments were people saying robbed, robbed, VAR, robbed, 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 robbed. Okay, people. Okay, so and they were talking about a Saka handball, which I never even seen. Yeah, they said robbed because of the penalty. Yeah, let's touch on the penalty straight away. Yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere else on that
Yeah.
pitch,
Yeah.
anywhere else on the pitch, that's a free kick.
Yeah.
Studs up. So
Yeah.
you boot the ball. Someone puts their studs up, yay high, shoulder height, with
Yeah.
their blades up. It's going to be a foul all day of the week. I don't know why people are
Absolutely.
saying it's 100% a foul. It's just because it's
Absolutely.
a penalty and because it's England, people need an excuse because we've gone through to a final. That's what it is. Do
Absolutely.
you think it was a penalty, bro?
Do you know what? I'm going to say that I do, because I think, as you say, anywhere else on the pitch, that's a foul. Now, there were two angles that they showed back. The first angle, it looked like Kane's boot had gone into the Dutch defender's boot. Now, the second angle was very much that the Dutch defender had sort of trod down on Kane's boot after the ball left, and that's a penalty. By
Yeah,
the letter of the law, that's a penalty. I don't care whether people say, "Oh, that's soft" or "That's fortunate." A penalty is a penalty. You've seen
yeah.
more contentious decisions given for. You've seen penalties given for a lot less than that. So
Yeah, 100%. You
yeah,
think how many times Harry Kane's been given? That's not one of his diving ones, to be honest.
no,
Normally, like we've played against him, and he's dived for penalties. He's done for that. Look, think about David Luiz, yeah, against
yeah,
Wolves. Well, that
yes,
literally that little tiny clip, and that was
yeah,
a foul. But
exactly.
this one ain't a penalty. It's just
Yeah,
because
no,
it's England Football Club and it's the English that it wants to be. Okay, if people want to say robbed and we pay, people keep saying we pay the referees. All right, then that Bukayo Saka goal. How are we paying them when Bukayo Saka literally got given offside for that goal when we went 2-1 up?
exactly,
And he was
exactly.
literally, it was inches he was offside,
It was,
inches.
it
So
was.
if we paid them off, boys, wow, okay then. Well, either way,
We
we
need
were
our
winning.
money back.
Yeah, we need our money back. Yeah. Either way, we were winning that game. It was going to extra time. We were going to win that game.
Yeah,
Either way.
yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
that game was ours. And I've had Netherlands fans come into my life and say the same thing. They said, look, you were better than us. We had
Mm,
60% of the possession. We had
mm,
two more times the shots on target than them. We were the better
mm.
side. There was
We were.
there's no ifs, buts, and maybes.
No, no,
No,
it's not
exactly.
at all. Football
Yeah.
speaks for itself, Jamie, and we were by far the team in the ascendancy for most
Yeah.
of that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have been up by more, to be honest with you, but there
Yeah.
we are.
Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Like I said, I think Foden played very well. I think Kyle
Yep,
Walker had a good game as well.
it was
I do.
good.
I was calling for Foden and Walker to be dropped, and
Yep,
also Kane.
yep,
Um, and Foden and Walker stepped up to the mark. I
absolutely.
don't think there was one bad performance on that pitch.
No, no, I was going to say as well, Trippier looked very good as well. I know
Yeah,
he
he
only
did.
played 45 minutes, but he played a very good 45 minutes. He was
Yeah,
very,
we
very
did.
solid. And again, we give praise when it's deserved, and we give constructive criticism when it's deserved.
Exactly
And
right.
now they've played well. Phil Foden, he's getting his flowers from us, isn't he?
Exactly. I do think that's Foden's best game this Euros. I don't think it's a man of the match worthy performance. Don't get me wrong, but that's how he should play every single game, where he's in between the lines. That's what that position is for
Yeah,
him. So he played that position the game before, and he didn't play that way. But that finesse in nearly into the top corner, that was literally it was the same as Lamine Yamal's goal.
it
That was,
was, it was, it
and that
was.
that that, that was Bukayo Saka-esque, that goal as well. That's kind of what Bukayo Saka does as well. He does that
Yeah,
similar type of
yeah,
thing. Yeah, and they
yeah.
linked up quite well on that right hand side. Them two, Walker overlapped in moments as well. But Bukayo Saka was playing right wing back again,
Yeah, it
and
was.
he
That's
ate up the
brilliant.
pitch. I do think there's been one bad performance out of the lot, and there's two actually. Like Harry
Mm,
Kane, he
mm-hmm,
weren't too great. He was all right. He weren't too great, and
mm-hmm.
Declan Rice,
Yes, agree,
and we
agree.
see him week in and week out, and
Yeah,
we see how good he is. Yeah,
yeah.
he's not had his best performances.
No, no, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And I know we'll get into the tactics in a minute, but do you
Yeah,
know why I think Foden was so effective in
what?
that first half? Is because the Netherlands were attacking us. I said this from the word go. Once they
Yeah,
sat back and they let us, they let us sort of they soaked up pressure, so to speak, in the second
yeah,
half. Whereas in the first half they came at us,
they
and
came
that
at us.
meant
Yeah,
that Foden managed to get into those pockets, like you see him do
yeah,
for Manchester City. And
yeah,
when he was in those pockets, he was very, very effective. Now, in a
yeah,
lot of the games we played in, we've been playing against nations that have said, okay, we're going to go in that low block and we're just going to let England knock it around sideways, backwards, and England won't threaten us like that. The Dutch came onto us, and I
yeah.
think
It
they
worked.
realised, yeah, and I think they realised at half time, oh, we need to stop that because the way we're going at the moment, attacking
Yeah,
England is actually suiting them. So then
yeah.
they dropped back and they looked to stifle, and they looked a lot more effective when they looked to stifle.
Completely agree.
Um, they were less threatening themselves, but they
Yeah.
were doing very, very well at foiling our attacking talents.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. I completely agree. Um, I think it was the first 5 minutes where they were playing
Mm,
counter-attacking football. It looked dangerous. I was thinking, shit. Oh, sorry about
yeah.
my language, people, but I thought we're in for this. Like
Mm,
this ain't looking good already. This ain't looking good, bruv. That's what I
mm.
was thinking. And then And then after that, we were all over them. I
We
am
were.
so proud
We
of
were.
every one of them. every single one of them. And I've put up a video on TikTok saying, should we be apologising to Gareth Southgate?
Mm,
Should we?
mm.
Should we?
Yeah,
And a lot
yeah,
of people are commenting saying, no, we shouldn't be. No, we should. Well, we should be. We
we
should
should be. We
because,
should be.
and I said to you, what did I say in our previous pod? I said to you that this gameplay that he plays suits us and it will suit us in
Yeah,
this tournament and we will get to a final because of it.
absolutely.
Because even if you do sit back and you don't concede and you score one, you're winning the game, isn't you? It's quite simple. But we didn't play
Absolutely.
that way. We didn't sit back. We did not sit back. We went for it and we looked the better side. And
We did.
I think even Spain, like Spain, have looked the best team. But if you put that first half performance against Spain,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be an end-to-end game. That will really, really. But all it takes is
could
us
be.
doing that. You see what the Dutch did, where they counter-attacked us. They
Mm,
hit us on the
mm,
counter. That's all it takes
mm.
for Spain with Lamine Yamal.
Absolutely. And I think, although we'll obviously talk about this a little bit later in the show, no doubt, but I think Spain will look to stifle us, actually. I really
Yeah,
do, because I
yeah,
think it would suit them better if they want to win this game, which of course they do. We both want to win it. So to win it, what you want to do to England is completely nullify their attacking players. And the best way
yeah.
to do that is what the Dutch did in the second half, in my
Yeah, they
opinion.
doubled up on Saka in the second half. That's what they did. Ake literally like held on to him, and then what Gareth Southgate said in the second half. So the first half he played down the wing. In the second half, Bukayo Saka actually played centre midfield. That's what he
Mm,
said. Southgate
mm,
said because if you watch his interview afterwards, he talks
mm.
about they said who was the best player, and he goes, my favourite player from that match was Bukayo Saka. He goes because he played in so many different positions in the game, but just people just didn't
Yeah,
realise what he did. 1 minute he was
yeah.
playing right wing back. 1 minute, one minute he was playing right wing. 1 minute he was playing right back, and 1 minute he was playing centre midfield. He said in the second half, Bukayo Saka actually sat as a CDM. That's what
Yeah,
he did. He sat as a CDM. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know if you noticed that. I noticed it. I noticed
yeah,
that he weren't actually right wing back. He was CDM. And then as
yeah.
the game progressed, he became a right wing back. And then
Yes,
he actually defended really well because he had
yes.
Cody Gakpo as the top goal scorer at this whole Euros.
Mm.
And he nullified him. Like he put a few
He did.
little crosses in, but Cody
He
Gakpo
did.
didn't even want to get at him. He didn't
No,
want to. He did.
no,
When did you see him take on Bukayo Saka?
he didn't. He
He
didn't. I
didn't.
mean, the Dutch were as well very, very negative. I mean, we've got to
Yeah.
remember that. Although they looked to nullify us, that didn't mean that they suddenly went gung ho in terms of attacking. They didn't.
No,
They were very, very. It was a very, very flat second half, Jamie. Both
it
teams
was.
nullified each other completely.
Yeah.
Um, and just to address the Southgate point, because I think it's a very important point. I had a lot of people saying to me, "Oh, he doesn't deserve credit. We've been playing awfully." Sorry, we're in a final.
Yeah.
Nobody, and this is a point that I made the other day to a number of people on my lives, because obviously we both do lives on TikTok, and I said to the people in mine, I said, look, what's not going to be remembered is the
Yeah.
performances against
Of course they're
Serbia,
not.
Slovakia,
Of course they're
Slovenia.
not.
That's not going to be
Of
remembered.
course
If
they're not.
we beat Spain 1-0, nobody, or 2-0, whatever it is, whatever the final score is, if we
Yeah.
beat them, no one will remember. No one will give a hoot about how we played throughout
Precisely.
the tournament. And
Precisely.
that's the point.
That's
Football remembers winners, not performances. Winners,
exactly right.
not performances.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I don't know if you know this fact. I don't know if you watched my video that I put up on TikTok. Yeah, he's got us to a Euros final, a World Cup semi-final, a World Cup quarter-final, which we had France, and then a
Mm,
Nation League semi-final. He's got us to two Euros finals now. Do
exactly.
you know this is the first manager in history, not just England, the first manager in history to not
Mm,
lose in 13 Euro games. 13 Euro games on the
it's
bounce, not
outstanding.
losing. Not
It's
not lose,
outstanding.
but that obviously that's not just Euro finals because people will go, "Oh, Italy, we lost something." But this is Euro qualifiers
Game.
is the
Yeah.
Euros as well. Because I,
Yes.
I put it up and people were like, "But we lost to Italy." What so and they're like the qualifiers don't count. All right then, if the qualifiers don't count, if you finish bottom of the qualifiers, you're not going to go through, are you? Make it make
It's
sense, people. Make it make
yeah.
sense, man.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
mean, people make some very, how can I say, silly points, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you got people saying, I had somebody say to me on the live, "Oh no, everybody will remember how poor England were
No, they
in this
won't.
tournament." Exactly, that's the point. No, they won't. What
No.
will be remembered is that we won the tournament. There'll be a bank holiday. Everyone will be celebrating. I
Yeah.
mean, 50 years when we're both old men, it will be in some magazine or some sort of Well, we'll be past magazines by then, won't we?
We're already old now, mate. What you on about? We're already getting
But
on a bit now, mate. We are.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah,
But football remembers champions, and
of
it
course they
doesn't
do.
matter how you become a champion, only that you're a champion. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think we need to give Gareth Southgate a lot of credit. Now, you and I, we've both spoken about Gareth throughout the tournament, and we've
we
both
have.
been
Yeah,
frustrated by some of his decisions at times. We have, but I think
yeah,
we are fair because we are now saying he has to be given 100% trust
yeah.
because of how far we have come. With two
Of course,
finals, a semi-final in 2018, and let's be honest, in 2022 we should have got to a semi-final. We were
100%.
absolutely robbed by the French. That
Yeah,
was
we
the
were.
best
We
England
battered them.
performance. Yes, that was the best England
We battered
performance
them.
I've seen in a major tournament,
But
and we should have had about 4 penalties in that game, not two.
the only reason I
Crazy.
can't defend him from that quarter final is even L'Equipe, we spoke about this, yeah. Even L'Equipe, the French publication, yeah, they even said, why did Gareth Southgate take off Bukayo Saka in that quarter
Yeah.
final? He was running them ragged. He was
Yes.
absolutely running. They didn't know what to do with him because at
Yeah.
that point, Saka, he weren't the name that he is now. He wasn't England star boy. So no one doubled up on him at the time. No,
Mm,
it's not
mm,
until after that World Cup that's when people started doubling up on him because they realised
mm.
how good he was. Yeah, and then he took him off when he was our threat, just like he is now. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going out on a limb here. Yeah, Ollie Watkins' goal. Yeah, man of the match, worthy performance. Yeah,
Mhm.
great goal, fair play to him. Yeah, but Bukayo Saka is my player of the tournament with Guehi. Him and
Yeah,
Guehi are my player of the
absolutely.
tournament. My player of the tournament.
Absolutely.
And we have spoke about this on the previous pod where everyone was saying about
Mm.
Bukayo Saka in a couple of the other games he was nullified. He was nothing. He was the only threat. He was
Yes.
literally we play through Saka. And even like Bellingham, Rice, Gallagher, they've all come out afterwards and they
Yep.
all say he's our talisman. He is our
Yeah.
talisman. Even all the England players all say Jude Bellingham, who we think is our talisman, who everyone says is, they
Mm.
all say Bukayo Saka's our talisman. He
He is.
is.
He is.
Everything comes through him.
He is. He's superb.
Everything comes through him. Yeah, he is. He's
Absolutely
absolutely superb.
superb.
And I'll back
And
him away. Same
yeah.
as Ollie Watkins. If I could grab him and give him a big smooch, I would. I'd give him a right good smooch. I would after that goal. But as you know, I was quite unwell when I was watching the game, so I couldn't
Yes.
really celebrate. For people who don't know,
Yeah.
I have Crohn's disease, so I get quite ill sometimes. So that's just a little bit of retrospective. If people don't know what that is, go search it up. It's crazy. It's something to do with your bowels, and it makes you poorly sometimes. So
Mm.
I was bedridden watching the game. I couldn't really celebrate, but it is what it is. I'm happy today. I've had 13 hours kit, which you do when you have Crohn's. That's what happens because your
Mm.
body's exhausted, so you
Mm.
need rest. You need rest. And then I
Mm.
rested up, and now I've watched it back. I watched Ollie Watkins' goal about 40, 50 times. I played Sweet Caroline about 100 times today. Do you know what I mean? I played it so many
Yeah.
times. Shall we move
Yeah.
over to some player ratings, bro?
Let's go and rate some players.
Yeah, let me click the link here for you people. Right, so I'm going to share the screen. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So, what the so we'll run down from the bottom to the top. Yeah, we'll go all the way
Yes.
down. Yeah, bottom to
Yeah.
top. So Harry Kane was a 5.64, which is worse rating than all the
Mm.
subs that came on.
Mhm. Mhm.
All the subs. Conte came on in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Mhm.
I think it was about 3 minutes, weren't it?
Yes.
So
About
Harry
3
Kane
minutes.
had a worse rating than Gallagher, who came on as a sub, Conte, who
Yeah.
come on as a sub, Trippier, who played 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
is that a fair rating for Harry Kane? 5.64.
If it's there or thereabouts, I probably would have given him a 6 because,
So
his
yeah,
job was to put that penalty in the back of the net, and that's what he did. And he was okay in the first
yeah,
half.
yeah,
He did okay. It was one of his better games, funnily enough, of
yeah. It
the
was, yeah,
tournament.
yeah,
So I'd probably bump that up to a 6.
yeah. I completely agree with you. I'd put it at a 6, maybe pushing a 6.5. To be honest with you, I don't
Mm,
think he was. I don't think he was that bad. I think he was.
mm,
He was all right. He got himself about, and he
yeah.
scored 3 goals in this tournament now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy,
It's
isn't
mad
it?
to
Given
think that he scored 3 goals. He scored a goal every 2 games.
he's played so poorly, and yet he's scored 3 goals. So again, you've got to give him a certain amount of credit for that.
Yeah, props to him. Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher came on, looked busy per usual. There's not much really to talk about there, is there?
No. No.
No. Should we just move straight on? We'll skip
We'll
past
move on.
Conte as well
Yeah.
because
Same
Conte
again. Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, Conte didn't play too much. Trippier. I thought Trippier was quite good. I think.
Yeah.
I think he did quite well in that left wing back position. He won a good few tackles, and
Yeah.
what I found he was releasing the ball a lot quicker as well. Trippier.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was playing to our capabilities. Yeah, I was quite happy with Trippier's performance. I think a 5.92 is actually quite low,
Yeah, it's harsh.
but I
It's
think that's
harsh.
only because he played 45 minutes. I'd give him a 6.5.
Completely agree.
Yeah, 6.5. I think is a fair justification. Now we're on Declan Rice, and we'll touch on Declan Rice like we just were speaking about before.
Mm.
So I think what I see from this, I think he's being left on his own quite a bit. So we're not seeing everything that he actually does. And I think he does do quite a lot, and we're just not seeing it. And he got a
Yeah.
6.4 rating here.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I think the 8 position suits him a lot better than the 6 now. That's what I think it is. I think at Arsenal when he plays the 8, that's his position now. I don't think the 6 suits him no more. I don't know about you, bro, but that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Arteta's trying to mold him into a player that actually scores goals as well. In fact, that's been widely publicised that he wants Rice to push forward more. And you've seen that obviously in that game against Bournemouth. He scored that absolute cracking goal. He got
Yeah,
into that position from midfield and just tucked it away. It was a lovely finish.
yeah,
So I would agree, Jamie. I think, he's not the same player he was at West Ham. Obviously playing in that role in the six for West Ham, he's not doing that at Arsenal anymore. He's somewhere in between.
yeah,
And to be honest with you, yes, I did think yesterday's performance was probably the most poor performance of the tournament from him so far. Um, it was a very sloppy moment when he gave the ball away to the Dutch player, who then went on and scored that incredible goal. I mean, let's give them some credit. It was a heck of a goal. There
it
was no
was.
saving that. So yeah, to be honest, I think they are edging towards 6.5. I would probably go with 6. And
Same.
again, to all of those who think, "Oh, you're a biased Arsenal fan," once again, I'm proving that I can step back from my Arsenal affiliation and
Yeah.
actually rank these players in a sensible and objective way.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. For Arsenal, every performance this season from Declan Rice has been
Yes,
an 8 or
agree.
above. In
Yes,
my opinion, they who we got was it Martin Odegaard who got our player of the season? It was, wasn't it?
it was. Yes,
In my eyes, it was Declan Rice. In
yes,
my
I
eyes,
agree.
but
I agree.
I think this tournament is kind of put retrospective,
Mm,
where people say about Declan Rice Rodri debate. I think
mm,
Rodri is a little bit better.
yes, agree.
I
Agree
think
at
he is,
this
and
moment.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, yeah, and say that
Mhm.
Rodri is the best player in the world at the moment.
In that position, certainly, yeah.
I don't mean just in that position. I think he's
Yeah,
the
I
best player
think
in the
I think
world.
I think there's certainly a case for it. I think there's certainly a case for it. I think
So
you
let's
could
talk
certainly
about
make
it.
a case
Who? So at the moment, it used to be obviously Messi, Ronaldo, the
for it.
attackers. Yeah,
Hmm.
who is better than Rodri?
It's a very good question, isn't it? I
People
mean,
will argue Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior's Brazil's just went out in the quarter final. Rodri's just won the league with Man City. He won the
yeah,
Champions League. He won the treble the year before. He hasn't lost a
yeah,
game. He hasn't lost a game in a Man City shirt in like 89 appearances or something stupid like that, isn't it?
yeah,
It's because when we
yeah.
played against them, Rodri weren't playing when we beat them, weren't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you make a really good point actually. I think it's hard to think of anybody. I think, if you're
Mm,
looking away from this tournament, you might have certain City fans going, well, Erling Haaland for what he offers in terms of his
yeah,
striking ability.
no
But
chance.
I
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think so either. And I don't think so because he doesn't offer more than just that threat in the box.
no,
He's actually quite similar to Kane in some ways.
yeah,
He's a box player. He's someone that gets in those positions, but he might not touch the ball the whole
yeah,
game and then get one touch and score. I think for what
yeah.
Rodri does,
Does
sorry,
yeah,
he's a very complete player in what he
yeah.
offers.
Do you know who he
He does
reminds
so
me of,
many
bro?
things.
He
Yeah.
reminds me of Patrick Vieira.
Yes. Yes.
Where
Yes.
he
He
gets
is. He's
forward, gets a
Vieira-esque.
chance, scores. He can play the 6. He looks like a 6, but he's not a 6. He he's box to box. That's what Rodri is. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know we're moving away, but this is their squad. I do generally think that Rodri's the best player in the world. I mean, it's only this tournament that's made me think this. Beforehand, I compared him and Rice, and I thought Vinicius was the best. And now I've actually watched and seen Spain, yeah, and how they're
Mm,
they're smashing teams apart, yeah, because
yeah.
Rodri's there cleaning up.
Mm,
He
yeah.
is, in my eyes, no doubt the best player in the world. It's either him or a
Mm,
defender.
mm.
It ain't an
Yeah.
attacker.
Absolutely.
It ain't an attacker. I don't think
No.
Vinicius Junior put up 50, 60 goals last season. I don't think. I think his numbers are similar to
Mm.
Bukayo Saka's.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
would agree.
generally think. Yeah.
And I certainly don't think you can make a point for Mbappe either. I think
No,
Mbappe's
you
been
can't.
very, very poor in this tournament.
No, you
Very,
can't.
very
He's
poor
barely played
indeed.
this season. Yeah, he scored 1 goal this tournament, Mbappe.
Yeah, really poor performances this
Mm.
tournament. So
Mm.
I think it's a good shout. It's a very strong shout.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this might be my Arsenal bias head, but it'd be a defender as well. And I'd put Saliba up there too. I
Yeah,
generally would put Saliba up there.
Saliba again. He's just so brilliant at what he
Yeah,
offers. His
exactly.
his passing of the ball, his movement, his positioning, his
He's
physicality,
unreal, mate.
his
He's unreal.
strength. He's just a complete player, but he offers
Yeah.
more than just your conventional centre back because his passing, the way
Yeah,
he
he's
moves.
passing. He doesn't play them long diagonal balls like Van Dijk, but he plays them cutting edge ones straight through the middle of the park. That's
Mm,
what he
mm,
does. He can pick out, just say an Erdegaard, yeah? He can pick out an Erdegaard, like, when he's sitting in that 10 position, he can pick out that pass. That
yes,
that opens up defence. It opens up that low block between the midfield to the defence, kind of thing, that little gap. That gap
yes,
between the defence and their midfielders where they're pressing with the forwards. He can play that cutting edge pass. And
yeah,
I'm not just saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. I think Rodri's the best player in the world, and behind
yes.
him is William Saliba. I generally think that as well, and that's from watching France as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's certainly a very strong argument for that. I
I
mean,
think
I think
it's either a defender or a midfielder who's the best player in the world right now.
it has to be,
It ain't an
doesn't it? It
attacker.
has to be. No,
Because if you start saying
no.
attackers like Vinicius and stuff like that, yeah, Vinicius is quality, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
wouldn't, he's not an outstanding, like, where you could just go like with Messi or Ronaldo, you just knew they were the best player in the world.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a world. You have that level where there's a world class player, and then there's Ronaldo, Messi. There's one above
yeah,
world class. Like Thierry Henry was at one point. He was just above world class. There's no one
yes,
just above world class. There's a few world class players.
yes, yes. You
Do-
have to offer more, Jamie, than just goals as well to be
Yeah,
the best player in the world. You have
yeah,
to
you
offer
do.
so much
Yeah,
more than just
clutch
goals.
moments. And Rodri,
Yes,
Rodri is the best at clutch moments. He's
yeah,
so good at clutch moments. You think against us? Remember we were drawing 1-1 with them. I bet you were
yeah,
there at the game as well. Drawing 1-1, Rodri just comes up,
yeah,
pops up, scores a goal, bro. He did it in
yeah.
the chat. Did he do it in the Champions League final as well? He scored.
He did. He scored the
I
goal.
swear
Yeah,
he scored. Yeah, I swear he
he
scored
did.
the goal, won the Champions League
It
final.
was him with the winner. Yeah,
Yeah,
against
I
Inter
thought so.
Milan. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's so clutch. Anyway,
He's
let's
brilliant.
we've harped on about Rodri. Let's move on over to Luke Shaw. I think he balanced the game so well. I rate
Yeah,
Luke Shaw. I rate him
I
quite
do.
highly when he's
He's
fit and
good.
able. He's a good left back. He's a very good
Very
left
good.
back to have. He's been in the game for a long time. Very experienced as well.
Yeah, he's very good. I mean, I think that's a harsh rating. I think I'd go
So do
higher.
I.
I think, probably looking 7.5.
Yeah, I think he's 7.5 as well. I think he was very good. I think Luke Shaw
Really
was
good.
very good. Because when
Very
when
well.
he came on, the game changed, and he
Mm.
had to be very good defensively, and he was very good. He was very capable defensively. I
He
think.
offered a lot. He offered a
You,
lot.
you
He
think
offered a
he
lot.
had Dumfries on his side, and everyone was like, "Oh, Trippier's going to get done by Dumfries." Everyone was saying it. Dumfries, I didn't see him do anything the whole game.
No, he didn't.
We'll have a look at the Netherlands player ratings afterwards because it's on the other
Mm,
side of this. But yeah,
mhm.
I think 7.5 as well. I'm complete agreement with you for Luke Shaw. Jude Bellingham 6.72. I put People were saying to me that was one of Jude's worst games, and I think he was here, there, and everywhere yesterday.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
think he got up and down the pitch so well.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. He covered a lot of ground. He did
Yeah,
some really good
he had
things.
the
He linked
ground
he
up.
linked the play up. Yeah, he linked
Yeah,
the play up very well as well. He was linking those passes together, and the way he sort of moved and brought other players into the picture. Yeah, it was a
yeah.
very, very strong, competent performance.
I think so as well. I completely agree with. I think Jude. Everyone was. You know what? People. This day and age, yeah, all they care about is goals and assists.
Yes,
That's
yes,
the
in football,
problem.
it's
And
a
it's
lot
all
more.
young lads. It's all young lads, all on TikTok. And do you know what I
Mm,
mean? They don't. When you pull them on for a podcast, yeah. So I had someone earlier saying it about. He was saying about Jude, yeah. He was saying about Jude
yes,
was put, and I was arguing with him while I was on my live. I said, "You know what, mate? Do you know what? My guest
yeah,
box is right there. Come on, let's have an intellectual football conversation right now.
yeah, yeah,
See if you can
yeah.
go toe-to me as an intellectual football debate. Let's do it right now and let's speak about it. Because all you're saying to me is goals and assists, yeah? Oh, he
Yes,
didn't
yeah,
score, he didn't assist. All right, come up here. Let's talk. Let's talk.
yeah.
And guess what? Didn't come. Of
No,
course
of
he
course
didn't.
not.
because he
Of
just wants to
course.
sit there and talk about goals and assists, and he don't want to have this intellectual football confrontation with someone like me who's got some good ball knowledge. I'm not the best, but I can tell you that Jude Bellingham ate the ground up. He linked the play
Yes.
well. He sat in that left 10 position, but he went. He played as an 8, and he come back. He defended. He was slide tackling here. He was moving the ball. He was coming in, dropping deep, collecting the ball,
Mm.
and moving it around. If you didn't notice, him and Foden kept switching. He'd come
Yeah.
in all the way to a 6 to receive the ball from the defence.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Guehi or Stones would pass him the ball, and then they progress the ball and move it forward, and then they'd move, and then Foden would come in and do it as well. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how they
Absolutely.
were doing it. Yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Completely
so
agree
for
with
that
you.
lad in my TikTok live, you can come on a pod and come have this intellectual conversation. But I don't think you would realise that Bellingham come in, did the 6th position, he out the ground, he did all these
No.
things. He's interchanging
No.
play.
No.
He's
No.
he's he's very diverse, and that's why I liked his performance yesterday. I'd put him at an 8. I
And
would,
that's
Jude.
the thing, Jamie, and it's a very important point that you make because there are a lot of, as you say, young lads, teenagers that the sort of Haaland sycophants.
Yeah,
Look at Erling
yeah,
Haaland and think, "Oh, he's amazing! Oh, I've got 50 goals a season." And
yeah,
football is a lot more
more. Yeah,
than just goals and moments. And actually, a player, what they don't understand as well is goals don't always mean everything. A player
of
can
course
score a
they don't.
goal and have a very, very poor game.
Harry
A
Kane.
goal, yeah, Harry Kane in this game, for instance, he wasn't brilliant by any means. And the
Yeah,
Denmark game, I'd give Harry Kane, not to go over old territory, but he was sort of a 3 out of 10 for that Denmark game, and he
yeah, he
scored the
was.
goal.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think there's a lot more. There's a lot more that goes into it. Football is a game of tactics, and it's very sort of intrinsic and very detailed, and people don't
exactly.
actually realize that.
People
There's
don't
so many
realise the
things.
transition and stuff, do they, mate?
No
There's so much.
transitions, counter-attacking, movement.
Yeah,
There's a lot that goes into it, and don't undersell yourself, Jamie, because you've got very good ball knowledge, mate. You've
yeah.
called a
Thank you.
lot. You've called a lot of this very, very correctly. You've been spot on about a lot of different things
I
throughout
predicted this
this
score as
tournament.
well. Did you watch my video on TikTok where I said it'll be
Mm.
2-1? We will score a late winner.
Yes, yes, I did. I did
I
see that.
predicted,
Yeah,
Evan, our podcast, we said it on the podcast before, our predictions. I said 2-1 England. I said a
yeah,
late
you did.
winner, 2-1 England.
You
And
did.
I also pulled up the squad that what Southgate was going to choose as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So
So,
you did very well. You did very well. You
yeah,
got
thank you,
got it
brother. You
all
know
right.
me.
Yeah.
Jay Gunner 17 or Jamie Waffles Footy, whichever one you want to call me. But I think I am. Let me know in the comments, people. And also, as well, while we're here, we're already 33 minutes into this pod. Remember to hit that
Mm.
3 punch combination by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. Let me know. Let me know. I've got a question for all of you. Obviously, over on TikTok, I'm known as Jay Gunner 17, which I do have a bit more of a following, not bragging at all. Like I've just looked there and I've got 400,000 views pretty much. Well, 350,000 views on a post I put up earlier today. Um, should I put my name as Jay Gunner 17 rather than Jamie Waffles Footy? Because over there, predominantly, I've got a lot more people over there. And when they come over to YouTube, they're going to search my name. They're gonna want to be searching Jay Gunner 17. So you let me know in the comments, should I change my name to Jay Gunner 17 instead of Jamie Waffles Footy, or just Jamie Waffles Footy have a ring to it? Because I think it does. But moving on over, we'll move on over to Jonathan Stones. I think that was his best performance of the tournament.
Brilliant.
I think it was
Composed,
absolutely outstanding.
calm, cool, very, very professional, competent performance. He was like a
Yeah,
duck on the water, just gliding throughout the game. Very, very calm, serene, and actually he did a lot. We talk about this sort of details in the game. He offered a lot
he
in
did.
that defensive line. He really, really did,
He
and he
did.
looked very, very assured. And that sort of confidence is absolutely what you need from a centre back. And we're talking about Saliba earlier. John Stones is the English equivalent, isn't he? I mean, look how
Yeah,
much he's offered Manchester City.
yeah, 100%.
Very, very good performance. I'd go 8 for John
Yeah,
Stones.
I'd go 8.5. I would for him. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd go 8.5. I think
Yes,
He was our best defender. Actually, you know what? Kyle Walker was our best defender. But we'll move on over to Kyle. Well, I just think they were all good. The whole
they're all
defense,
brilliant.
there was the
Yeah, they're all
solidity.
brilliant.
They did Netherlands. Not at one point did they scare me. I did not
No,
feel scared or threatened by them at
no,
all. That
no.
goal, that Xavi Simons, that moment of brilliance. I weren't. I weren't scared at all. I thought we were capable, very, very defensive, capable. Our
Yes,
solidity,
yes.
is that how you say it? Solidity? We were
Solidity.
solid. Yeah,
Yes.
solidity. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's because obviously I lived in Australia. We say some words differently, and then when I
Mm,
come over here, some words I still think over there
mm,
than what I do here. Just for context,
mm,
people, I lived in Australia for 8 years, so
mm,
some words I get confused. You know, like a pickup truck, I call it a ute because I grew
mm,
up over there. And then like a vest, I call that a tank top. Just for a bit of context, people, that's what I call it.
mm.
But yeah, so I think John Stones is very good. I think Guehi has been, like we just touched on before,
Oh,
our best player. Guehi was
yeah.
very, very good.
Oh,
And do you know what's the worst? You know, even when
exceptional.
Veghorst come in, the
Yeah.
shithousery of Veghorst, yeah, Guehi was jumping over the top of him, heading the ball. He was all
Yeah.
over him. He had him in his pocket because he
Yeah.
could have been an actual threat, bro. He could have. That Veghorst,
Yeah.
every time he comes on, this Euros, he's been a massive, massive threat. And you know, I
Yeah.
want to touch on something as well, people, is that I actually this game here, all the other games I've watched of England, yeah, because I was poorly and I could watch the game without emotion because I was too ill to have emotions that I've actually watched this game properly.
Mm,
Whereas the other games, I'm succumbed with emotions. I'm doing TikTok lives, so I'm watching it, but like my emotions are taken over. I'm like, oh, that's not a
mm,
foul. That's not a foul when it generally actually is a foul.
mm.
Where I've watched this actually properly through without having an England head on. Do you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's actually worked out
Absolutely.
quite well. Where I can look
Absolutely.
at each player and go, "This is how they did. This is what they did in the moment.
Yep.
This is." Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I do. 100% get what you're saying because it's happened to me as well. Sometimes when you're sitting back and you're just taking that very calm, composed position and you're watching a game of football, you can read it a lot better when you take the emotion out of it.
Yeah,
Of course, passion, emotion, great. But obviously, the other side of it is what you were in that sort of manager's sort of role there, like sitting
yeah,
back and watching it almost like a manager would in a
yeah.
sort of cool, calm, obviously one of the calmer managers because some of them are very, very passionate, but sort of like Don Carlo Ancelotti style.
Oh,
You know,
I
he
love
sort of
him, mate.
sits back at a distance, doesn't he, with those
Yeah,
very expressive eyebrows of his and just
yeah.
and watches the game. So, yeah, you can pick up a lot watching it like that.
Do you know
Um,
what I'd do if I was manager? I'd sit there and put off the other players by doing this. I'd just sit there doing that to 'em. Yeah, what
Y-
now?
would you do the clop in the warm up? Just the
Yeah, yeah, just a stare off like this, and I'll just make funny
arms
noises.
folded.
I'll just make funny noises and that at 'em. I would. I'd just make funny noises and I'll start saying like just some mad stuff to them. I would. Some right mad stuff, but let's not get into that. But yeah, Guehi, I'd give an 8.5.
Yeah,
Eight and a
brilliant,
half all day long. Absolutely sensational again. You agree
brilliant.
on?
And I'm going to touch on a moment, and I know you're going to know this moment, Jamie,
Yeah,
because I think it was his most important moment in the game. There was a
yeah.
point where Guehi got his body between himself, the
Yes,
Dutch player,
yes.
and the ball, and he sort of
When he fell
shadowed with
over.
his. That's right, with his body strength, he just eased the attacker out of the way, and it was
Class.
just the most brilliant piece of
That
defending.
was it Memphis Depay?
I think it might have been, yeah. And
Yeah,
he was just so composed and calm. And it was just very, very intelligent defending as well. You know, when
yeah,
you see a defender do that and you think, yeah, he's got his body between, everybody, all the commentary people say, oh, it was a really clever, really clever physical placement of his body, really good movement, really good understanding of the game. And that was exactly what it was. It was absolutely outstanding. And I would
yeah,
completely back an eight and a
yeah,
half out of 10. He was excellent. Absolutely
yeah,
excellent.
yeah. So he's gonna get a big move on the end of this. I can see it
Yeah, I
happening.
think so. I think
Yeah,
so. Very
yeah.
likely.
So let's move on over to Pickers, Jordan Pickford. I think he had another good game.
Mhm.
There was a few questionable things where he could have caught it instead of punching. That one
Yep.
came to the back post where he's punched it. If you keepers, yeah, because I was a goalkeeper, yeah. If you can punch the ball with two hands, you should be catching
Mm.
it. It's quite simple.
Yeah.
If
Yep.
if you
Agree.
can get two hands to it, you're catching it.
Completely agree.
That's the only
Completely agree.
criticism I really have for Jordan Pickford. His collection of crossing is quite poor sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I do think an eight's fair. I think he had another good game. I think he's been one of our better players as well. He kept us in it. So I'm going to
Yep.
give Jordan Pickford an 8. I don't know if you what rating you'll give him.
First of all, Jamie, do you want to know something?
What?
I was also a goalkeeper.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
you're big and lanky?
I took up a lot of the goal, which helped. So,
Yeah. Was that? Were you fat at the time or what? Just you in the
unfortunately,
five-a-side goals, just lie on your side.
Unfortunately, I think I'd do a better job of that now. Unfortunately, put on a bit of weight since those days. But yeah, no, I was, yeah, I enjoy goalkeeping, and a lot of it is obviously positioning, as you know, and obviously
Yeah, of
making
course
sure
it
that
is.
you
Yeah.
sort of time runs. And anyway, we could go into that. But Pickford, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't go 8. I don't think he deserves an 8. I'd give
No,
him a 7. I'd give him a 7.5.
that's
I
fair.
thought he was decent. He could do nothing about the goal. You could have had two goalkeepers in there; they wouldn't have saved that. It was just a heck of a strike. Actually, to be fair to him, he did get a slight sort of hand on it, a little bit. He sort of flicked off his hand, but he just couldn't get enough on it to
Should he
save
be
it.
saving that?
I don't think so. I think the way it was hit so hard with so much. Do you know what? I looked it up, and actually, this is another thing. Another fun fact from one of my lives: 112 kilometers an hour. That shot was
Was
hit,
it?
Jamie. Yeah.
So about
So
86 miles per hour that is, isn't it?
I looked it up, 72 miles an hour, but still
Oh, was it?
very, very, very fast. If
Yeah.
you imagine 72 miles an hour, it's almost like, if you imagine walking onto a motorway in the left-hand lane and you see a car
Yeah.
coming at you at
At that
72 miles an
pace.
hour,
Yeah.
you
It's a
know,
great
you've got a
shot.
ball. Yeah, you've got a ball fizzing at you at that speed. I mean, I used to play a bit of cricket as well, and when you
I do.
go into
Mate,
bat,
I'm a leg spin bowler.
yeah, I was as well actually. That's
Yeah, I'm a leg
strange.
spin
Yeah,
bowler. I weren't good at batting, but I played in
yeah, no,
Australia. Obviously,
same.
'cause I grew
Yeah,
up over
same.
there. I played a seniors game when I was like 15. I
Yeah.
played seniors game, and I only just learned how to play cricket. I played seniors game. I took 5 wickets in my first ever game on a seniors game.
What a
And then
record.
the football season was on at the same time as the cricket season. I had to make the choice which one to play.
Which one?
So
Yeah.
yeah, I chose the
Yeah.
football, obviously. But
That's it.
anyways,
That's it. Very impressive first game for you, though. Wow.
yeah, FIFA,
Y-
yeah,
yeah. So when you go into bat, as you know, because I wasn't brilliant at batting either. I think
yeah,
my best
awful.
score
I
ever
was.
was like 30 or something like that. I never got to a 50, or even
I
near
never
it.
batted, mate. I batted a couple of times. Smashed my nose batting.
Oh,
Broke my
really?
nose. Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want to wear a
So,
helmet.
oh wow, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, when the ball comes at you when you're batting, and you just hear this sort of this
Yeah,
noise, and it
yeah,
just you can see it, and you just, oh no, that
yeah,
noise, it sort of
yeah,
makes you sort of nervous even thinking about it, because the
yeah,
speed of the ball coming at you. So that's what Pickford would have had. That ball would have moved.
yeah. Just nestled past him.
Yeah, and to actually get a hand on it, I think is pretty impressive. It was
Yeah.
a heck of a strike.
The only thing I say,
Yeah.
i- if he was a taller keeper like a Nick Pope, yeah, he's saving that.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
is because 'cause he's got
Yeah.
longer
Yeah.
arms, isn't he? But you wouldn't
Yeah.
want Nick Pope
Maybe.
of it. So that's the only downside to it. But it works in other retrospectives where he's nimble because he's so small.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve an 8. He does deserve a 7, 7.5.
Yeah, I
He was
agree with you now. I've changed my
decent,
mind. Yeah, 7, seven and
decent,
a half. Because if it was
decent
me, I'm
competition.
that happy with the result. I'd just give them all 10s.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
that type of geezer. Yeah.
When you come off from watching the game, when you come away from the telly, you just want to give 10, 10, 10, 10,
Yeah, of
because
course you do.
you're
Yeah.
so buzzing, so happy.
That's why you wait.
Um, that's why you wait. There we are.
Yeah. So we'll move on over to Cole Palmer. I'll touch on this first.
Oh,
Cole Palmer, your favourite boy. I love Cole
yeah,
Palmer as well. I think he got the assist for the goal, but I do want to touch on one thing about this assist for the goal. When I've gone on my live, all these Chelsea fans are coming out the woodwork about his assist for the goal. Greatest. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take nothing away from him because I think he was the best player last season. Yeah, that I could make that pass
yeah,
easily. That is just a standard
yeah,
pass.
yeah,
It was Watkins what did the work, people. It was
yeah.
Watkins, and we can't take Watkins' flowers away. I
Oh,
don't. So he got the assist, and if it weren't for him,
good.
we'd be going into extra time, Palmer. But I think anyone was really capable of having that assist. If
Yeah,
Foden would have stayed on the pitch, he would have made that assist too.
yeah, yeah.
Do you
Agree.
kind of get what I'm
Completely agree.
saying? But
I
did you
completely agree.
have you heard Watkins' interview afterwards?
Yes. So basically, they had a thing
We
where
spoke
he
about this,
said,
didn't
didn't
we?
he? Yeah. So he said, didn't he? Watkins said to Palmer, "You're
Yeah,
going to assist me. I'm going to score."
yeah, he did.
Oh, the
Yeah,
confidence. This
visualized it.
thing,
I love it.
manifesting things, manifesting
Yeah,
positive things. What an amazing
yeah,
message that is for everybody in their everyday life.
yeah,
You can bring it about. You can bring these positive things about. But I agree with what you say about Palmer's pass. I could have probably made it. Most people out
yeah,
there probably could have made it. Simple pass. But I think with Palmer, again, excellent when he came on, absolutely
100%.
fantastic. But I think maybe you see it in a slightly sort of lesser way because Foden did so well while he was on the pitch. Whereas obviously in the past we've said, oh, Palmer was outstanding when he came on,
because he's
and
been
he's
so
still.
poor.
That's right, because Foden's been so bad. So
Yeah,
when Palmer came on, he was still excellent, fantastic, really good. What he offers so much. And he's just the way he drops into those pockets and his
yeah.
composure and his passing, his shooting. He's got everything. But I would give him an 8 out of 10, a very good performance.
Yeah, I would. I'd give him an 8 as well. People, I didn't mean to take anything away from him. It's just because the Chelsea fans were
Mm,
getting a bit carried away.
mm,
That's all it was.
mm, mm,
Because Cole
mm,
Palmer, don't get me wrong, I love him. I love
mm,
for him to start, and
mm,
I still think that
mm.
performance there, he's got an assist. He probably does deserve to start, but I
Yes,
think him coming off the bench is making more of an impact than him starting. And I'm
yes,
kind of
yes,
seeing through Southgate's eyes now. I'm thinking, I
yeah,
can bring him on, and then look what's just
yeah,
happened in this game, and look what happened the
yeah.
previous game. He's come on and made a massive difference.
Exactly, exactly. He
And
was
I
he
don't think
that's
he can do that starting.
maybe not, maybe not.
No.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe this is his role for the meantime.
Yeah, and I back it. I back it.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we seen why Southgate, yeah, yesterday got every single thing right.
He
And we
did.
can't take that away from him. That first half
No.
was clinical. He made a substitution at half time. At
Mm,
half time. When does
mm.
Southgate make substitutions at half time? Yeah.
I know.
The two
Unbelievable.
players he brought on assisted and scored the winning goal.
I know. Absolutely outstanding. Absolutely
Southgate, I'm gonna
outstanding.
put I'm gonna give Southgate a rating here, a 10 out of 10. Clap her hand. Southgate fucking quality yesterday, lad. Absolutely quality. You know what? Like,
Unbelievable.
I'm giving you your flowers, Southgate. It doesn't mean I still want you to take us further, to
Mm,
carry on.
mm, mm, mm,
But I'm
mm.
backing you for the moment, brother. And you know what?
Absolutely.
If we play like that again and win the final against Spain, I'm I'm apologising and saying, you know what? You can stay.
Yeah, me too.
And it
Me too.
sounds mad to say because people are like the way we play. I don't give a shit the way we play. I could
This
swear
is
on
the
YouTube.
point.
That's the best thing about YouTube because I can't do this on TikTok. So I do TikTok lives and videos all day where I can't swear and I have to be like, oh, like this, like, oh, Jamie, like this. Where here I can fucking say what I want, innit? Like
Absolutely.
that's why it's great. I can be myself.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yes.
but people, if you ain't already like I said, yeah, if you hit that 3 punch combination, bam, 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 by
Mm,
liking, subscribing, and commenting. But if you're not already following me on TikTok, go have a look, and you will see my Southgate video. Yeah, it's Jay Gunner 17. Go have a look, and it's me talking about. Look, do we owe him an apology? And we do. We
mm,
certainly do.
mm.
And I don't care about the style of football if we're winning. I couldn't give a
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't care because I it's probably for other people, yeah, because they probably have to watch their shit football club. Yeah, I'm not being an arsehole here, but I get to see great football every week with Arsenal, which is great
Same.
fluid
Yeah.
football. So if I've got to watch England be a bit defensive but win the World Cup or win the Euros, I'm going to take it all day. I'm going to
Of
take it
course.
any day of the week
Of
because
course.
we're not winning trophies at Arsenal, so it's not
Yeah, that's
working
the
there.
point.
Fluid football. I'd
That's
rather
the
us
point.
win and not play fluid football than play fluid football and not win.
That's the point. That's absolutely the point. And this is the thing I was saying the other night after after when I went on my live. Portugal out, France out, Netherlands out,
Yeah.
Germany out,
All the best teams, all the teams what look the best watching, except for France. Germany
out.
look wicked to watch. They look good on the eye, yeah.
They did.
We don't look good in the eye, and we're in the final. Everyone was saying that Netherlands look good on the eye. You know when they beat Romania,
That is the thing, isn't it?
when
Yes,
they beat
3-0.
Austria,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we ain't got no chance against Netherlands." And look, we played them off the park. We played.
Exactly.
I don't care if Southgate goes and plays with 10 men behind that ball in that final, and we win. I'm going to be laughing, mate. I'm going to be
Yeah,
laughing.
absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
what are
Yeah.
people going to say then, Adam?
Mm.
Are they going to come out and say, "Oh, but we played shit football, but we've won a fucking final, man."
Oh, well, I know we haven't won since 1966, but we could have won it in a better way. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Who
Come
cares?
on.
Who
Come on.
cares?
There is not a single person on these aisles who will be saying that.
No,
No
no,
one.
no. It'd be all the
Absolutely
Scots
no
what
one.
say it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on over. Kyle Walker 7.22. No, that's a 9 rating. That is a 9
Yeah.
rating.
Yeah.
He was absolutely quality. He was everywhere. That was the
Absolutely.
old Kyle Walker. That was the old Kyle Walker where he's the best right back around. That's what that
Yes.
Kyle Walker was, and it
Agree.
worked. Do you know what I think helped him as well? That
Mm.
Bukayo Saka was next to him,
Yes.
where he
Yes, it
weren't
did.
having to sprint and run around up the wing back, doing all these
Yeah.
things. he actually had someone who was there
Yeah,
and capable of helping him.
tremendous, tremendous. Yeah, absolutely. And Saka, just the versatility. I mean,
Unreal, mate.
it's absolutely unreal. The
Yeah,
versatility of this guy. He's absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, Walker, 9 out of 10. Well done,
yeah.
Carl Walker. Well
And
done.
now we're moving on over to who
Mm.
actually was my man of the match,
Yep.
Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo.
Yep.
My
Yep.
man of the match. They've got him there as a 7.45. I would give
Mm.
him a 10.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Agree.
he was absolutely everywhere yesterday.
It was
He
brilliant.
he he, he he's at that age, yeah. So he's just turned 19 now, yeah.
Mm.
He's at that age. You know when Bukayo Saka, when he broke through to the England team, and then young players, they ain't scared of running at players because they're not
Mm.
scared of they haven't got that match experience yet where they get worried about losing the ball and knowing what's going to happen if they lose the ball. Do you get what I'm saying? So they just go at players because they don't care about the repercussions of it. And
Yeah.
that's what
Absolutely.
Kobbie Mainoo does. But
Yeah.
I'll guarantee in 2, 3 years' time he won't be doing that because he will know the repercussions what come from it if he actually loses the ball and there's a counter attack. But
Mm.
right now, that's exactly what we need.
Mm.
And he's arguably
Mm.
him, Saka, and Guehi have been our best players.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, Jamie, there's only one player in these remaining four players that I wouldn't give a 10, and I will
Yeah,
reveal who that is in due course.
yeah,
But Kobbie Mainoo was
10,
absolutely phenomenal, a 10 out of
10.
10 all day long.
Yeah, completely agree, bro. Completely agree. Yeah, just for you United fans, there you have it. Mainoo, this tournament has been better than Bellingham.
Just, yeah,
He's been
yeah,
our best midfielder at this tournament.
yeah, he's been wonderful. He's been
100%.
wonderful.
100%.
19, 19 years of age.
Jack Wilshere, that is, all over again. Just hopefully you don't pick up them injuries. I hope he's got a bright, bright future in front of him.
Oh,
And
he does. He
I'm going
really
to say
does.
this: if Man United don't make no Champions League or anything next season,
Mm,
he can move
mm,
on. He
mm,
can move on. Real
mm.
Madrid, something like
Yeah,
that.
Real Madrid would be in for him 100%.
Yeah, 100%. They're already in for Guehi apparently.
Oh wow, gosh,
Mm.
he's going
Because
to have a.
they've tried to go in for Saliba, didn't they? And Saliba said no chance.
Saliba said no. Yeah, so Guehi's going to have a decision to make,
Hmm.
a big decision to make.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move on over to our star boy, your star boy, my star boy, everyone's star boy. Everyone's star boy. It doesn't have the star next to his name, but that's Ollie Watkins up there. But Bukayo Saka, our star boy, I'm not going to give him a 10 rating. It's a bit mad, but
Okay.
the first half he was absolute. Actually, you know what? Now I am giving him a 10 rating. It's my star boy. Did I get ya? Did I
You
get
did,
ya?
you did, you did. You had
Bukayo,
me.
Sa- Bukayo Saka 10 rating. And then
10.
people are going to say, "Oh, but he didn't do much in the second half." And
Oh,
he was everywhere. He was
he
everywhere.
was
He, like
everywhere.
go watch Southgate's interview. He played right wing back, centre midfield, right
Mm,
wing. At
mm,
one point, he was playing striker. I seen
mm,
him up top at one point because Kane was dropping in. Bukayo Saka, he was on the left wing at one point as well. He was absolutely everywhere. He filled in little holes what people don't see. He was he is the ultimate utility man. He is
mm,
so
mm,
diverse. He's
mm.
in transition, he's unreal as well. Because the
Yeah.
best thing about him, what people don't actually realize, he's so strong. He's so strong. Do you know when the ball comes and he gets the ball at his feet? He's so hard to get the ball. It's like Lionel Messi. I'm not
Mm,
comparing Saka to Lionel Messi overall in that aspect where Messi has the ball at his feet. It's hard to get it off him.
yeah.
And what I found
Yeah.
with him yesterday, when they had when in that first 10, 15 minutes, when they got the ball, yeah, he was winning every tackle. Did you know yesterday that his dribbles completed was 100%? And he won the most tackles on the pitch as well.
That is outstanding. That is absolutely
100%
outstanding.
dribbles
100%
completed.
dribbles. That's unbelievable.
Completed.
That is unbelievable. I completely endorse what you say about this guy being the best player at the tournament. He has been absolutely
Mm.
outstanding. And yes, I said best player at the tournament,
Yeah,
not just for England, at the tournament.
there you
He
go,
has
bro.
been absolutely outstanding. Can you name another player that would play all of those different positions with
No,
such excellence and competence? And would and lack of, he's so selfless. So many players would say, I'm not doing that, I'm not playing in
no,
that
of course they
position.
would.
That's
Of
not
course
my
they would.
position, I'm not playing there. He will do whatever for the team. He takes his own ego completely out of it. He's
Of
a
course he
team
does.
player in every sense of the word. And that is just so incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
And do you know the thing I love about Saka as well is when you look at him, he looks, don't get me wrong, he's very confident, but he's not arrogant. Now,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little bit of arrogance from Bellingham, and by the way, everybody, I'm not criticizing that.
No, we
You
love
know,
it.
we love it. We do love it. But there is such a massive amount of humility within Bukayo Saka, which makes him just so lovable.
Yeah.
Not only his football, but his character. His character as a man
Yeah.
is he's just unbelievable. And he deserves so much credit. And if he doesn't get player of the tournament, if we win, he gets player of the tournament. He has to. He absolutely has to get player of the tournament if we
It.
win.
I think if we win this and he scores, he will get player of the tournament.
Mm. And
He'll
another
s-
thing as well,
go
he'll
on.
be knighted, Jamie. He'll be knighted.
Yeah, Sir Bukayo Saka. That
Yeah,
Saka
I'm telling you.
souls, the Saka souls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I think a lot, I think a lot of them will be. I think obviously our main players will be, but I think, I mean, at the end of the day, if we haven't won since 1966, and I'm really jumping ahead here, but imagine we win it, I think you've got to
Mm,
give all of them knighthoods.
of course you
Surely.
have. Of course you have. So we're in agreement with tens for Bukayo
10,
Saka.
10 for
Mm,
Saka.
yeah. I said on the last pod, yeah,
Mhm.
that he has to do something on the big stage to be world class. If that goal counted yesterday, that would have been that defining moment.
Yeah, it would have been.
I think that
Yeah.
quarter final might have been that world class defining moment. Do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so. I think so. And I think if he scores against Spain, which I can
If he
see,
scores in that final, the Saka hate will be gone. It will literally be gone. I'm
the
telling you that
fact
right
that
now.
the fact that anybody doubts him at this point is ridiculous. The
Yeah, but
fact
there
that
is still
anybody could come
doubters.
out. Yeah, there are, and they're all ridiculous, and
You know,
they're
because
all
as soon as I put up that video after the game yesterday, the first comments I had 3 comments instantly on TikTok, yeah, saying Palmer with the arrow going towards Saka like he's better than Saka. The first thing they put, it weren't, well, yes, get in there, lads. It was Palmer, Saka, Palmer, Saka, Palmer. That's why I pointed out that Palmer assist because straight away it's comparisons. We don't need to compare it.
no, we
Bukayo
don't.
Saka is
They're different
England's
players.
best. He's England's best player.
Yes, he's
He is
England's best
England's best
player.
player.
He's England's best player, but what Palmer does and what Saka does are two different things. They offer
Exactly.
different things as players. And anybody with some football intelligence, and forgive me for getting a little bit frustrated by this, but I have made this point myself to many, many people on my lives as well. I've said, look at what Cole Palmer does. Look at what Bukayo Saka does. They are different players with
Yeah.
different qualities. They offer different things. So actually comparing like for like isn't fair to either player.
No, it ain't.
But nevertheless, Saka has been the best England player in this tournament. I would argue in the last tournament as well, in the
Of course
World
it was.
Cup in
Yeah.
2022. So yeah, 11 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah,
Outstanding.
yeah. I love him. I love him. I love him. And you've heard, mate. I'm telling you right now, yeah, and everyone that's listening to this podcast, yeah. If Bukayo Saka scores in that final, I'm getting
Mm,
Bukayo Saka tattooed on me.
there we go.
I'll get him tattooed on me 100%. I will,
You
because
heard it here first.
that's how much I think he's gonna. People don't realize, yeah, because they don't watch him week in and week out.
Yeah,
He will be the player of the season next season as well in
yeah, I
England.
think he will be. I think
If
he will
he
be.
gets that, if he scores in that final, yeah, that
Mm,
confidence he will get.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. The confidence levels are just going to go through the roof. Absolutely through the roof.
Mark my words. So they already kind of they already know what the Ballon d'Or, who's going to finish wearing the Ballon d'Or and that, because I've seen it the other week. Yeah, they had Bukayo Saka in sixth, the sixth best player in the world.
He should be higher.
They had Martin Odegaard in 11th, and they had Bukayo Saka in sixth,
Both should be higher for
and
me.
that's the world. That's the world. Like, this is it ain't the actual rankings, but it's what that's what they
Don't think.
think.
Don't,
They think,
yeah,
and
that's what
that
they think.
normally tends to be right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because what
yeah.
will happen if we win this final? Jude Bellingham will win the Ballon d'Or. That's what will
He
happen.
will. He will.
But if
He
Spain
will.
win it, Rodri will win it.
Yes, agree. Completely
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
good shouts, Jamie. Good shouts.
yeah. So they normally are, bro. They normally are.
Like what I said earlier.
Yeah. So we'll move on over to Phil Foden. I'll give Phil Foden a 9.
Agree.
9 and a
Agree.
half, because he was a lot better, a lot better, and he deserves his
Mhm,
flowers because that first half he was great.
mm,
In between the
mhm.
lines, he was awesome. He was dropping deep, getting the ball, but he did lose the ball a couple of times where he should have passed the ball a bit early. I find he holds on the ball a little bit too long sometimes, and I don't want to
Yes.
focus on the negatives because I think that Phil Foden was great yesterday. I think he was absolutely great. I think he
Yeah.
was fantastic, but he did creep away in the second half. Whereas, like with Bukayo Saka, he did his defensive capabilities, defensive responsibilities, and he stood out in that retrospective where he didn't get beaten. He won the ball. He held the ball up well. Whereas Phil Foden, he kind of like went away during the game, whereas
Mm,
Bukayo Saka was still there. But a
yeah.
9 is a fair rating. I think that's a fair
Yes.
rating for Phil Foden. And you know what? Well
Yeah.
done, Phil, because
Agree.
me and you have been
Mhm.
saying he deserves to be dropped. And after
Yes.
that performance, I'm happy for him to come in for the next game.
Agree. Agree.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for him
And
to start in that 10 position.
yeah, 9 out of 10 is fair. 9 out of 10 is very fair. So basically, excellent in the first half, absolutely outstanding in the first half. Second half, Ake pocketed him for me for the most part.
Yeah.
He wasn't as good, wasn't as effective, but for his first half performance, he gets a 10 out of 10. So that bumps his average up to a 9, and he deserves that 9. It's a well
Yeah, he
deserved
does.
9. Well
He is a
deserved 9.
well-deserved 9. I'm going to pull it away now. Oh, it's Ollie Watkins. So Ollie Watkins is the last one. And nearly 20 out of 10, 50 out of 10,
100.
100. Ollie Watkins deserves the man of the match.
Oh, absolutely unbelievable. Now
Fair
that
play
is
to
a classic finish in his Aston Villa. If you go, I know obviously
No,
Joe,
no, no,
you're
no,
not.
no, 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 no. Before you mention Aston Villa, yeah, he supports Arsenal.
Good.
So
Okay, let's
he
go with
got
that.
that finish from watching TT because TT's his hero as well. Did you not watch Ollie Watkins? You know when we didn't win the league, yeah?
Hmm.
And it meant that Aston Villa qualified for the Champions League as well because it was all in the same motion, yeah. Because it was
Mm,
like they qualified, yeah, because they didn't know they had
mm,
qualified until that 90th minute when
mm,
he
mm,
sat
mm.
there. They were all celebrating around him, yeah, and he was sat there because Arsenal didn't win the league. Have you
Yeah,
ever seen that video?
I think I may have actually in passing because I was
And he
aware
sat
that he was an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
he was sat next to Unai Emery. They're all going mad, all the Villa players, and Unai Emery. Go check it out, people. It's real talk. And he sat there not celebrating because Arsenal hadn't won the league. And he always says that he wants to play for Arsenal one day. He
Yeah,
always
and
says it. If you watch his
yeah,
interviews, he's not scared to admit it. So that's
yeah,
where that comes from.
yeah.
That's let's not give it to Aston Villa. TT, TT.
Yeah,
Go on, bro. Carry on.
there's no credit for Villa. But if you go and watch his goals for Villa,
Yeah,
that is a classic finish that he's done. And I was looking at YouTube clips today of some of Ollie Watkins's goals, and that is
yeah,
a classic finish of his. Just like the Saka one the other day was a classic finish of Saka's. This
precisely.
was
Yeah,
Ollie Watkins, that little turn and then firing it across goal into that far corner. He is
yeah.
absolutely outstanding. Actually, he scored a goal against Arsenal like that. I
He
remember
did.
not that long ago, a couple of years ago, I think. It
He
was
did. Yeah.
a really good goal. And actually, I said to a few Villa fans who came into one of my lives, I said, that goal, because I was unfortunately there at the Emirates when Villa beat us 2-0, and we were obviously pushing to equalise, and he went through, and it was just a delicious, dinked finish. It was such a nice finish. And that was probably the most painful moment of last season, but I could still recognise the quality of this guy as a striker. He's absolutely outstanding. And actually, Jamie, as well, I'm going to back a comment of mine because I made a comment to some Arsenal fans a couple of years ago, and I said, Ollie Watkins, why don't we go in for him?
Yeah.
And
I don't know why we don't go in for him.
everyone went, no, 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 I don't think he's quite right. Don't think he's quite the right player. Wouldn't suit our system. Why wouldn't he suit our system? He would suit
Because
our system
also, bro,
perfectly.
we were linked with him.
Perfect.
We were linked with him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin at one point. I remember specifically.
Watkins is like 100 times the player
Yeah,
that
but yeah, but in
Calvert-Lewin
that
is.
moment, it's when Calvert-Lewin was in quite good form as well that
Yeah,
we
he
were
was.
linked with him.
He was. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? One player has regressed a little bit, and one player, and to be fair to Calvert-Lewin, he's had injuries, so I'm not going to go in on him. He's had a tough time with injuries, but Ollie Watkins has been absolutely outstanding, and I think again, I think have I been saying have we both been saying? I think we've both been saying that he deserved more minutes. We have.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah, we both
And,
did.
I think there's a really solid, it won't happen, but there's a really solid shout for him to start in the final against
He
Spain.
won't. He won't.
He
But
won't. No, of course
there
he
is a
won't.
shout.
But it's a good shout, and he deserves it because that goal. By the way, he wasn't even fresh. He came on in what, the 80 something, 88, 87, something like that.
Yeah,
He came on.
it was his first touch, I think.
First touch. I mean,
I
you're sat
think
on the
so.
bench for the whole game. You're not up with the pace of the game. You get
No.
the ball, you turn, and you whack it in the far corner.
Yeah,
Come
great
on,
finish.
this
Great
guy
finish. I'm
just
here
for the
for it.
fact, yeah, he wasn't even on the pitch for most of the game. He wasn't on the pitch for 98% of the game, and he scores a goal like that. I mean, oh, 100 out of 10. He was absolutely outstanding, and
Yeah, my man of the
I would
match.
love to see him in an Arsenal shirt. I know you
He
would too.
he is. I swear he's about 27, 28 years old.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. I
So
think he
that's
is
why
around there.
Arsenal wouldn't go for him, I think.
It's a shame, though. It's a shame.
Yeah, because
It's a shame.
we have that criteria of going
The
for players
criteria.
that are
Mhm.
20, 24 and under, really, or 25 and under kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him at Arsenal. I really, really would, because it's nice when they're a boy. Like they support the club as well. That's what I love, when players come and play and they support the club, like Saliba,
Yeah.
Zinchenko.
Yeah.
Zinchenko supported Arsenal from a kid as well.
Did it?
And
Oh,
yeah, if you look, there's
yeah.
pictures of him when he was in Ukraine when he was a kid in Arsenal
Oh,
tops.
okay.
Saliba, Gabriel, Arsenal fan, Bukayo
Yeah.
Saka, Emil Smith Rowe. I don't think Odegaard, but there's a couple of players that you in the that well, there's 6 or 7 Arsenal players
Mm,
in the starting 11
mm,
that wore Arsenal tops when they were kids. It's whether
mm,
they support them or not, but
mm.
Saliba 100%, Ollie Watkins 100%, and
Mhm.
then even Eze,
Eze.
Eze came from Arsenal's academy.
Oh, Eze.
Did you
Oh,
not know that
I didn't know that
he got
actually.
released when he was 15? Eze.
Oh, wow.
He got released when he was 15, and he literally said in an interview about 2 weeks, just before the Euros, that one day he will come back to Arsenal. But the worst thing of his career was being released at 14, 15 years old by Arsenal, and then he went to
Yeah.
QPR.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he
And
came through our academy for, I
he
think
did.
it was 3 or 4 years.
He did. And of course, I'm going to remind any Spurs fans that may be
Harry
watching that
Kane.
Harry Kane was an Arsenal youth prodigy as well.
Yeah, yeah, he's one of our own. He's one of our own. Harry Kane, he's one of our own. Do you know when they always sing that? Because he
Yeah.
is Arsenal. He supports Arsenal. And well, you've seen the pictures of him at the Arsenal
with
Invincibles
the
parade.
O2 with the O2 shirt.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the Mohican, the red Mohican,
Yeah. Yeah.
Freddie Lundberg style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Oh,
Spurs, you were second choice, lads. You were second choice.
yeah, that's the one. But he won't admit it now, will he? But
No,
it
of
is
course
what it
not.
is. Well, I'll stop sharing this now because we're coming towards the end of the podcast, because we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes, which has been a really, really flowing, fluid podcast. So let's get some score prediction. You know what, actually, people, we would do another pod on Saturday for the game, and we'll upload it Saturday evening so that we could have a look into the Spain squad, their run of form, and so on. We were meant to do it
Mm,
the other day, but I got way too busy. I got way too busy. I do have a bit of a schedule at the moment, and Adam's been quite busy himself with work and so forth.
mm.
So this is that reminder to hit that 3 punch combo, bam, 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 by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. I'm going to drop my plugs now. It's Jamie Waffles Footy, obviously, if you're watching, because this is on YouTube, which is predominantly Footy Talk Show. But you've got to go over to AGN Entertainments as well. Drop your plugs, brother. Go on, you drop your plugs.
Yeah, yeah. So, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, AGN Football on TikTok, and AGN Entertainment on YouTube. Doing a lot of different content. Obviously, these podcasts with Jamie. Some of the more sort of shorter, fun ranking videos. You can see some of those. Those are always good fun. If you've just got a spare 30 seconds with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. So we've got all sorts of content. So check me out, and it'd be great to have your support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you have it, people. And also, I forgot to mention my TikTok, which is jgunner17, which if you're pretty much, if you're over here, it is from my TikTok anyway. So there's what, obviously I always touch on this, people, mental health awareness. So check in on someone today, whether it's a friend, loved one, co-worker, you know the drill. You're on the public transport, take out your headphone and just check in on someone today, because people are struggling. And then in men, the biggest killer is suicide. And that's just complete facts. And that's the biggest killer in men, which me and Adam both are. And we both know people that have done this before. So that people checking on someone today, please check in on someone today. And there's one more thing that I'm going to touch on, and that's racism. people don't think there's racism out there because they want to turn a blind eye on it. Yeah, do what I did recently, and why I got banned on TikTok. Don't do it on TikTok; you'll get banned for it. But stand up to racism. Yeah, if you ignore it, you're just as bad as the person that's doing it. You have to stand up to it. There's no way we're going to stop racism, but me, you, Adam, all of us, anyone who's listening to this, if you hear someone saying racist comments at all, you just stand up and say, that ain't right. That ain't
Mm,
right. That's all you've got to do. And then that makes them second guess themselves then, because they can't get away with it.
mhm.
They cannot get away with it then, yeah. So that's to end on a little bit of a on them terms. But I've been Jamie Waffles Footy, Jay Gunner 17. This has been AGN Entertainment, which is Adam. We love you being over here. And if you could please, please, please hit that 3-punch combination by liking, subscribing, and commenting. And I know, do you know how I'm gonna know if you've watched this whole video? If you comment down below and you comment with potato. So if you comment potato, I know that you've watched 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's how your boy is going to know. Because if you comment potato, potato, I know you've watched the whole video. So peace, stay blessed, and I will see you all later.